Hi, Matt with eTrailer. If you're trying to haul those extra large loads from point A to point B and you need something to help tighten down your chains into place, then the Durabilt Ratcheting Chain Binder is going to be a great option for you. So let's check it out. Durabilt has a lot of different types of chain binders. Now the one we have specifically today is going to be a pretty heavy duty one. It's going to have a weight capacity of up to 15,000 pounds. Which is pretty heavy duty, which is perfect for any type of construction equipment or any type of agriculture equipment. Now it is important you just check what your chains are rated for too, because not only does your chain binder have to meet the specs of whatever you're hauling, but the chains as well. To give you an example, if we have this chain binder that it has a capacity of 15,000 pounds, and the chains that we have today, also built by Durabilt, are rated for 6,600 pounds, then our max load limit will be 6,600 pounds. So it's just important that you stay safe when you are hauling. And then if we take a look at the clevis hooks, they're going to be able to work with chains of either 3/8 size or 1.5 size. Now me personally, I'm a fan of ratcheting chain binders. I've used them personally a lot of times to haul equipment from all over the place. And really there's going to be two main types of binders. You're going to have the ratcheting style and then you're going to have the lever style. Both have pros and cons. So with the lever style, that's great if you want something that's going to be pretty quick. The reason why I say that is because instead of having to ratchet something down like you would with this style, where you're going to have to slowly get it into place, that can be a little bit tedious. With the lever style, you're just pulling on it or pushing on it until it seats into place and it's secure. Now the only downside is you have to be pretty precise with it. And what I mean by that is if you don't get it on the right link when you start off with, if it's too loose, it's not going to be a good fit. You have to redo it again. And if it's too tight, either you'll have a lot of issues just trying to get it hooked on, or when you're trying to pull it into place, it's going to be really difficult to do. And you also have to be really careful with them. Because if you're not careful and you're not watching where you currently are, that lever could swing up and hit you and really hurt you. And that's just another reason why I like the ratcheting style. They're a little bit more forgiving when it comes to being how precise you are with your links, and they're very safe. You don't have to worry about them swinging up and hurting you. And with ratcheting style binders, they're going to have two positions. So you're going to have this more compact position where the threads are fully enclosed, and the one we have right now is going to have a max distance of about 25.5 inches. Now, if you have this fully extended, where you just have to move this pawl, and you can change the position of it, we can see those threads coming out. This will extend up to 33.5 inches. So that's where you have that wider range of fits go. So that's why I mean it's a little bit more forgiving when it comes to using these. And speaking of using it, I'll show you how to put this one on real quick. Now the way I like to do it is just kind of already have those threads extended from the barrel a little bit, and grab some gloves because there are a lot of pinch points. Really we're just going to be reaching over and pulling this to us, and we're going to be using our clevis hooks to grab onto these links. You can start on either side. I typically like to avoid the welds because I don't want to add any extra strain to that point. And when we put it on, you'll also notice we have some numbers on the side of it. So that's going to tell us what size link this is going to work with, just in case you ever forget. And it's going to tell us our max load too. Like that, and it's actually really easy to read. A lot of them I've tried can be a little bit difficult. And I'm going to try to get to one spot up. There we go. And when you're doing this, it's just important you check which direction this is going. So if I just go at it right now, I'm going to find this is going in the reverse way. That's the way I always just figure it out. From here, you just can push on that pawl. You can tell which way it's going to go. If I push on it like this, it's going to switch over to the other side. And really, this transition feels pretty smooth. I don't have any powder coat stopping me from using this properly, so these are feeling pretty good so far. It's going to take a second to get this all set up. And even though these are a little bit more tedious, I don't find it that bad because I'm also not pushing on it too hard either, especially with the ones we have right now. You're gonna start to find a little bit of resistance, but with the ones I tried this out with earlier too, I actually found a little bit more resistance with those. This one is feeling pretty easy comparatively. See how it feels, and once it's tight enough, you should be good to go. I typically like to wrap this excess chain around something so it's not dangling around. A lot of people like to use zip ties though. And when I'm finished too, I like to make sure this handle is facing inside of our trailer just in case it is ever to hit something. Now, if you're not a big fan of the handle remaining on your ratchet or your binder, then there is another version that Durabilt makes, and that's going to have a removable handle. Now, speaking of the handle, I am a big fan of it though, because it is going to be 15 inches, which is a little bit longer than some of the other options they have. That's just going to help you get a little more leverage out of this. And something this also has too is it's going to have this hole at the very end. This is actually made so you can put a padlock on it, just so you can secure your load, making sure no one's going to mess with it. Now, taking a closer look at the material, starting with the clevis hook, this will have a zinc plating to it. So that's just going to help it last longer, especially when you are going to be driving in all different types of conditions, so it doesn't rust over time. And I really didn't find any burrs on here. It's always smart to have gloves when you're working with them though, but it feels strong. It is going to be made from a forged steel too. And if we look at the center, looking at the barrel itself, you notice this is a little bit larger than some other options out there. This is actually going to have an oversized barrel. That's going to help you with those extra heavy loads. And that's why this is rated so highly. While the material is going to get it pretty far, having that oversized barrel is going to help you out a lot too. And what I really liked was how this gear functioned. Now I've tried a couple today, and this one doesn't really have any chipping occurring on the gear itself with this powder coat, and it felt pretty smooth too. But it's doing a really good job. We got a little bit of scuffing there, but it's pretty minor. Because you're going to want a powder coat that is pretty thick because, again, that's going to help it be more rust resistant, but it's going to help it be more visible too for when you are driving on the road, because you want to keep a good eye on this. And having that thicker powder coat is just going to help this last longer too. But at the end of the day, this is going to be more of a standard type of ratcheting chain binder. Another thing that does stand out is just its pretty heavy weight capacity. Now, if you do plan on pushing the weight capacity of your chains or binders, then I'd honestly recommend just getting another one for the front side too, just so you have a secure load, especially if you are pushing the maximum weight capacity of this. But again, it's also going to depend on what type of loads you're carrying and how heavy they are, and just ensuring that you have the right type of chains and binders. But again, this was just a look at the Durabilt ratcheting chain binder with a weight capacity of 15,000 pounds. Again, I'm Matt. Thanks for watching.